Hey, what's up YouTube? Welcome to a new video today on In the Stars. So today I'm going to be talking about sun sign and Sagittarius. So if you're watching this video around between the November to December video, like late November to early December, or should I say mid-December, should I say, then that means the sun has officially transitioned out of Scorpio into Sagittarius. So first and foremost, happy birthday to all of the Sagittarius out there. If your birthday is coming up, if it has already passed, or if today is your birthday, this is happy birthday to all of the Sagittarius from me to you, right? So let's get into the video. All right. So as I explained before, that Sagittarius are a mutable fire sign. The analogy that I kind of used before for that in the past, on one of my past videos, was that a mutable fire is sort of like a wildfire, like a changing fire, a fire that's constantly changing from one thing to the next. It could be this big flame at 1 minute, and it could be like a small little, it could not seem to be spreading much at all, right? That's exactly how you would define Sagittarius to an extent. Because as I said before, immutable is changing, adaptability, things of those natures, and fire is self-explanatory. Fire is also relates to passion and energy, things of that nature. So you have this changing fire within inside of Sagittarius. Now, first and foremost, Sagittarius dates start from November 22nd to December 21st. And as I said, they're a mutable fire sign. Their ruling planet is Jupiter. So what Jupiter brings to the energy Jupiter brings to Sagittarius, or to any sign, but Sagittarius specifically, since it's its ruling planet, it brings, Jupiter is the planet of luck, expansion, meaning like growth, or just, expansion, that's self-explanatory. As I said, growth, doing things big, or reaching for bigger things. These are things that that Sagittarius associates themselves with, or the influence that Jupiter gives off to Sagittarius, because they constantly are looking at the bigger picture, or constantly looking to grow, looking to expand. These are why this is a trait of why Sagittarius are said to be optimists, because they always have their mind on the bigger picture, or the bigger visual of things, or whatever that means to them, or growing in a different way, in a bigger way. That's at least what they set out to do, or what they are attracted to do, but not necessarily might always be the case, because that fire in them allows them to have passion in what they do. But as I said, that fire is a changeable fire, so it can be a big flame at 1 minute, and then the next minute it's a little flame. It's just a little bitty fire burning there. So that changeability in them can allow them to make the Jupiter in them, the expansion, the growth in them allows them to set out high goals, or set out high dreams, or want to grow in bigger ways, or have high optimistic vision, shall I say. But eventually, or sometimes, if they don't have a good, if they're not balanced well, they can burn out before they even get started, because as you know, also mutability comes at the end of the season. So they have a good way of ending things. They always can see the ending, they can see the finish line, But sometimes it might be hard for them to stabilize that, because they know how, because they can see the end, the finish line, they can also see the beginning, because since they're at the end, they can see what's coming in the next season, if that makes sense. But they can't see how to stabilize that energy more than likely, or most of the time. Now, Sagittarius is also associated, or Jupiter influences Sagittarius to also be philosophers, high thinkers, seeking higher education. These are all of the things that Jupiter, or all of the energies or influences that Jupiter gives off to all signs. But as I said, especially Sagittarius, they're the ruling planets over Sagittarians. So the same goes with that. Sagittarius, or Sagittarians, should I say, will always be the philosophers out the group, or be the deep thinkers most of the time. Now, if debilitated, they could be the exact opposite. They can be not very good thinkers at all, or not very good with deep thinking, or have a good understanding or philosophy, or might shun away from schools. Whereas other Sagittarians would go towards that. See, it could be either one or the other, or it can even be in between, but it's all based off of what the other placements in one's chart would be. You see, if that makes sense. So what's something else that good luck is something else that, or good fortune is something else that the energy that Jupiter gives off. So it influences Sagittarians. Sagittarians are said to be one of the luckiest signs out of the zodiac because of this, because of their ruling planet Jupiter. So the same goes with that, but if debilitated, it could do the exact opposite. You see what I'm saying? But Sagittarians are always said to land on their feet, like a cat, so to speak, or whatever. But that also goes into they also said something else about Sagittarians, because they're said to be animal lovers, because of that joyful nature that Jupiter gives off, the joyful, cheerful nature that brings to Sagittarians, because that's also a characteristic of Jupiter that influences signs, is joy, cheer, truthfulness, or what I'm trying to think of the exact word, was pretty much saying the truth for what it is. This is something else associated with Sagittarians, or something that's known about Sagittarians, that they will speak the truth. But many times, see, and this is why Sagittarians are they're said to be frank, so to speak, and by that meaning like almost like having no filter. They'll say something. Some Sagittarians could say something and like feel like there's nothing completely wrong with what they said, but it's actually something wrong with what they said. Like they hope, like they say the truth, like no matter what. Like if they see somebody, they could say something negative about someone, even though that they feel like that might be the truth, or they can say something in the wrong setting, something of that nature, if you get what I mean. Like I said, having no filter, just running off at the mouth, so to speak. This is some things that associated with Sagittarians. As I also said, cheerful or joyful. Sagittarians are always most of the time known to be in good moods, but those moods are changeable because they do have high energy, because of that fire in them, and that passion in them allows them to stay joyful and cheerful. But that mutable sign that's in them can allow them to change how they feel most of the time, or can allow them to change their feelings. They can be cheerful at 1 minute, but then saying the wrong thing or doing the wrong thing, or whatever could set them off or whatever, they can change just like that. But their ruling planet overrules that aspect of their nature, because they are quick to get over things. As I talked about with Scorpios, like they can be vindictive or very highly vindictive. Sagittarians, it's hard for them to be vindictive because they get over things quickly because of that Jupiter influence. Now that fire in them, that passion in them could allow them to hold on to a grudge or to be upset or whatever like that, or whatever the nature might be, the situation might be. But the Jupiter influence of thinking big, or or seeing the bigger picture, or having that joy and cheerful, allows them to get over things, and especially with the mutable. So if you tie the mutable with the cheerful and joyful, they can go back to being cheerful, and that optimism, as I said before, also allows them to get over things more quickly than others. But at the same time, though, that as they can change back to being pissed off about a past situation or something like that, because of that because of that mutable sign, that changeability, and because of their passion, and because of Jupiter is a sign of deep thinking, philosophers, things of those natures. So if they're going to sit there and they're going to think deeply about things, if they can't get it out of their mind, it can put them back in a bad mood or a bad position. See, that changeability. So that's why some Sagittarians are known to be fickle, as they say, or some people say wishy-washy even. So also comes with that playful nature that Sagittarians typically have, because they also have a playful side to them that comes with that joy and that cheer and that fire in them, that energy, that hype, that passion, comes with a joyful, playful nature. So they typically like outdoor settings, or typically are big sports people, like love to participate in sports, or even love to watch sports. Love to be a part of it in some kind of way, because those are things that they're drawn to. As I also said, they're drawn to they're also drawn to different animals. They're usually animal people, and they're humanitarians. Because of that, they tend to, usually most of the time, they have good hearts, or feel that they have good hearts, because they want to naturally help. They want to naturally help heal. Because that's that higher thought in them, or that optimism in them that wants to help, or see, and as I said before, see the bigger picture, expansion, growth, things of those natures. So 9 times out of 10, they will be very good with animals, or be animal type of people, and also, as I said, just love to help people in general. Sagittarius, one of the Greek gods that Sagittarius is associated to be with, or the Greek god that Sagittarius is associated to be with, is the centaur called Chiron. Chiron was the unhealable warrior. Like, he could heal others, but he couldn't heal himself. So that speaks highly of what Sagittarians are kind of like, because they're always there to help teach others, always want to help others out in their situation, but sometimes they could be focused on others too much and not focus on themselves too much, or sometimes they can even as I said, that high energy or passion can burn out within inside of their selves sometimes, or they can be quick to change, start one thing and then change to another thing, so to speak. So that's all that comes with Sagittarians as far as their direct traits. Okay, so now for the rundown. The glyph of the Sagittarius is the arrow, as we can see right here. It aims, it's supposed to, the symbol of it is supposed to mean to aim high, or it's an arrow that's aiming high. In other words, or expression, or however you want to put it, it's aiming towards the sky, shooting for the clouds, so to speak. This speaks to Sagittarians, optimistic and expansion, growth, that those visionaries that dreaming big, things of that nature, is aiming high. Now their special flower is called a holly and a dandelion, and also a narcissus. I'm gonna have to, as I did before, pull that up so you can see. Their lucky numbers are 5 and 7. Their lucky day of the week is Thursday. Their special crystal or gemstone is a turquoise. Part of the body that rules Sagittarius are the liver, hips, and thighs. So as I always said, make sure that you eating a proper diet that attributes to that, or that helps those things. Make sure that you're taking care of those parts of your bodies, whatever your sign is, and that's the part of the body that whatever the part of the body that's ruled by your sign. I'm gonna do separate videos on that in the future, so be looking out for that as well. Their polar opposites are Geminis. I already talked about the Greek god associated with Sagittarius. Now the Egyptian god associated with Sagittarius is the god called Hapi. He was the god of fertility, or the god who was responsible of releasing the floodings of the water from the Nile into the soil to enrich the crops. Because something that I forgot to mention earlier on is that Jupiter is also associated with prosperity as well. So this also attributes to Sagittarians in a way, or not in a way, or helps influences Sagittarius, because they are known to receive money, whether it's through hard work or just through their luck or through other things that's in their life. But they're also said to they're also easily to lose money because of that changeability, or the fire. So they can be acceptable to both things. They can either, or as I always say, if completely debilitated, or not completely, but if debilitated in the wrong way, or negatively aspected within their chart, then it can lead to them not receiving a lot of money, or them losing a lot of money, so to speak. Best careers for Sagittarians would be like a teacher, a motivational speaker, a coach of some sort, financial expert, entrepreneur, because that's something else that I forgot to mention, that Sagittarians are very highly free-spirited people. They love their freedom because they love to constantly move, constantly expand, constantly grow. So they love their freedom, love that they are free-spirited. So an entrepreneur would be best for them, and they also like to think for themselves, or they like to think for themselves because of that philosophical nature within them, or like to do things on their own, so to speak. So I'm not saying that entrepreneur would be the best thing for each individual Sagittarius person, but I'm saying that that's a great career for them, as well as as I said, something where in the teaching field, whether it's a motivational speaker or just a straight up teacher, professor, or a coach. Other career good for Sagittarius is something in the creative field, because they are very good creators. That comes with their passion and their high energy and that steady optimism, being able to see the bigger pictures to things, sort of things of those natures, and that joy and cheer that they have that's inside of them. But most fire signs are very good with creativity anyway, in the first place. Now, the most compatible with Sagittarius are Aries, Leo, Aquarius, Libra, and other Sagittarius. So that was it for today on the video of sun sign and Sagittarius. I hope you guys liked the video. If you did, as always, click the like button. Click the description box if you want to follow me on my social medias. Click the comment box if you want to write something down below. Press the subscribe button if you want to stay in tune for future videos. Again, I hope you guys like the video. Thank you for your time, and until next time, peace and love, y'all.